Well, hello, back for PesterQuest. I've just looked and confirmed that yes, Vriska's route is written by a known Vriska apologist, which makes me feel a bit, Well, other writers will have looked at it and, known if they were doing a bad job with Vriska, but yeah. Anyway, Volume 6, Route 2, The Scourge of the High Seas. Your latest narrative jaunt has you walking down an Alternian shore. The two moons light up this beach cove in shades of pink and lime green, their reflections playing its shimmering patterns in the gentle waves. It would be beautiful if not for the haggard, monstrous gulls picking the flesh from dead and pungently rotting fish, crabs, and even one of their own. You keep your distance as they eye you warily, gore on their chipped beaks. These are not potential friends. What do you mean? They are potential friends. I love gulls. Everywhere you jump, serendipity seems to guide your hand. But would it be right to call you fortunate? The night is cool, almost cold. You kick a pure white seashell down the beach. It skips gracelessly in the dark grey sand. You have brought friends together and just barely begun to master this tremendous and strange new power. But no, you think, you are not fortunate. As you walk alone down the sand, that still radiating stored up heat from the searing day, you feel a pang. Something is missing. You know you felt this way before, but you can't place when. You have a gulf within you, the width and breadth of the ocean, an isolation so plain, so true, it seems impassable, invincible. You step on a weird bug and you don't even care. Yes, you are filled with a sudden, almost comforting conviction. Nothing you have done on your journey has really made a difference. If you can pick up and put down the lives of these alien weirdos and human weirdos and shake them like an Etch-a-Sketch when things go wrong, are you really accomplishing anything? Or are you just building shitty castles in the sand with flimsy plastic implements, castles that won't mean shit for nothing when the tide rises? You've decided. You are a creature of solitude. You are a rock. You are an island. From now on, you walk alone. There may be an angled figure crouched with terrible posture on a dock ahead, sure. That figure may be sitting next to an intriguing-looking moored ship, yes. But surely one glimpse of a potential life to meddle in won't immediately make you fall off the wagon back into a life of itinerant friendship, right? Oh sweet, a new friend. God damn it. This song was in Elwood's route. Yeah, this song was definitely in Elwood's route, guys. Which was also like a volume 6 of Friend Sim. Gasp! Gasp! Oh! You amble over to the girl hunched on the dock like the stupid thembo friend slut you are, doing an acrobatic fucking pirouette off the wagon. She hasn't seen you yet, so you watch her like a creep. Yeah, I am a stupid thembo friend slut. She's leaning over a complicated pile of papers, erasing boxes and filling them in again. Every once in a while she pauses to roll various dice. As soon as you take one step onto the wooden deck, she looks up and jumps with a feline quickness into a standing position, looking immediately ready for a fight. Whoa! What are you? You raise your hands in a pathetic sort of I'm innocent and weak motion, which for you is basically any motion. Wait a second. You're that weirdo that was bothering Kanaya, aren't you? Yep, you're exactly that weirdo, and now you're here saying hello to a new stranger and maybe make a new friend. Isn't that great? Great, just what I needed. More meddling. I know I'm the coolest, but I'm kind of busy right now. Big campaign tonight. Dude, you're so good at campaigns, you tell her. You're all about hope and change. You helped Al Gore hang a Chad. Tip a canoe and Tyler too. I don't know what. These references are just flying over my head. What even the fuck are you saying? Don't call me dude, or anything else for that matter. You mean you're down to help? Maybe be her campaign manager? Ha! I'm the captain here, buddy. But as it happens, I'm currently all out of first mates. Wanna be a swabby? Oh, it's like a boat thing. Yes? Excuse me. So that's why there's a boat there. What are all the papers on the ground for? The campaign, dumbass! They're those character sheets for me, the greatest petticoat seagrift ever to sail the 8 seas. One of our friends was raised in a cave and she still knows what flap is. Well, you can zap over to the cave and ask her then. Her look of indifference is immediately replaced with a tilt of the head as though your threat to leave caught her attention. Ew, not unless you want to smell like cat piss for weeks and get high off second-hand nip. Oh, Nepeta smokes catnip? Jeez, I mean, new law. Look, it's simple. Pick a name and roll up some stats. For example, I am Marquis Spinneret Mindfang. I'm the Scourge of the High Seas, an undefeated champion of naval flap. My colours on the horizon turn even highbloods into snivelling cowards. You say that sounds really cool, but aren't troll names 6 letters long? You mean you've only met a couple before this, but for some reason you have a really strong sense of the rules here. I'm in character here. Try to keep up. You guess that explains the outfit. She seems really into this, maybe weirdly into this. It's all a bit intense. Isn't this just a game? Flap is more than just a game, and I'm the best there is. How about this? If you agree to make a character and sail with me, I'll tell you my real name. You look at her elaborate costume over at her ship and decide, why the hell not? You've already made your friend bed, now you have to sleep in it. Not that you're going to sleep or anything, that would be patently ridiculous. Start by creating a character. Okay, let's walk you through this. You should be flattered that a master gamer like me is giving you the full tutorial. I had to read the books myself, with no help. The first thing you do is roll values for each of the 10 dice rostra. Simple, right? She pops a huge bag of dice out of her Celodex and starts handing you groups at a time. You roll 2d4 for Dice Rostrum Throne of the Empress and get 2 1s. You roll 6d6 for Dice Rostrum Conductor Stand, and 6 fucking snake eyes stare up at you from the wood of the dock. This is Vriska doing this. Wow, you're really bad at this. Take the insult line down. You gotta hand it to her. When she's right, and she's right, so she's right. Kind of feels like, oh god, my dogs are barking again. You finished all 26 dice rolls required for this game, and you've gotten the lowest on each one. What rotten luck. I have never seen anyone roll this low before. I didn't even know you could get a 0. It's okay, we can save this by putting the stats in the right place. She flips to another page of the player's handbook that shows you the attributes of Flap. For some reason you can read them despite just arriving on this planet for the first time. Right? So, your Vim, Grit, Pulchritude and Grace combine with real-life vitals to make your HP. Wait, real-life vitals? Your body is weak and shitty. Is this some kind of hardcore game? The most dangerous game? If you die in the game, do you die in real life? Yeah. You didn't know? The sheer combined shock of what you don't know could kill an elephant quicker than Thomas Edison trying to discredit an immigrant. Oh, jeez. You get to roll again when you level up, so you won't be so pathetic forever. I mean, if you survive. But with a scourge like me at your side, you're on easy street. I'm jealous of you, really. You gulp and nod. Okay, let's finish this. The Marquise grins. Her lipstick smears a bit where her fangs jut out. You think that's just how it is for trolls wearing lipstick, but Kanaya's was perfect. She pulls an 8-ball out of her pocket and smashes it suddenly and violently on the dock. You jump at the noise. She looks at you pitifully and then decides not to make fun of you. Out of the wrecked plastic sophistic spear, a gross fucking grubby worm appears. It's like the size of a wiener dog, and in its wriggling you see that it's pulsating. Covered in the blue-tinted family recreation water once inside an 8-ball. The grub's swollen ovipositor... Oh, jeez! Oh, jeez! Oh, jeez! It extends the deposit of a massive brood of eggs, each glowing in the centre with a slowly pulsating LED light. This is so fucking gross. You look away and try heave a bit, leaning off the dock. So far, this game sucks ass. Jeeg. Don't tell me you've never seen a Game Grub before. You tell her you have never seen a Game Grub before. Also, maybe she should give a content warning before she makes you watch a thing that includes a glistening ovipositor. What? Ah, shit, yeah, that was pretty gross. Here. You bring up the pause menu, click on warnings, and give it a read before making an informed decision. If there's been there the whole time. Actually, let me, warnings. As a general rule, PesterQuest contains adult language, violence, and... Oh, okay. Cannibalism. Arachnids. Vor! Gender and identity discomfort, strangulation, stimming, United States politics, panic attacks. Okay. Vriska taps her foot impatiently while you fuck around in the game client. For some reason, seeing a full list of content warnings isn't easing your anxiety about what's ahead. It reminds you of something that once made you really angry. In fact, you're especially worried about the gore and death tags. Maybe you should just peace out of this. There's basically no harm whatsoever in you yeeting out of this one, and it might save you a drowning for good measure. Not that flirtation with dangerous ends is exactly rare for you. Let's peace out. You know what? You're not feeling up to tabletop gaming today. You close your eyes and feel yourself sink into another narrative. Wait! Your loss. No. Oh no. Oh, we left Vriska. Right, okay. Let's play Flap with Vriska. You know what? You're an informed reader and a prepared gamer. You've got this. You ask Vriska what's next. She points to one of the glowing, blinking eggs, which is hatching a pixelated-looking bat. It flaps its way into the air with a high-pitched squeak and starts glowing and projecting a holographic image of a torch. Alright, all you have to do is assign your Geist roster on your attribution sconce. What? Pick your best and worst stats. Your top 2 stats determine your starting class. There's a lot of classes, but I'm already the best one. Alright, well that seems simple enough. Drag attributes into the dice roster when you want to utilise them. This decision is permanent, so make sure you're satisfied before pressing finalise and ensconcing them. Ooh, we're playing D&D! Right, Right. I don't know what to do. Right. Let's hover for details. I don't know what I'm doing. Podium of runners-up. Choir box of the face paint angels. Dexterity. Right. Vim, Rasp, Grit, I think. Scrimshaw workstation. Flextrous fellow. Right. I think I'll just randomly just... I can't believe we're doing this as opposed to... Okay. Right. I don't know what I'm doing. Flextrous fellow. Your 2 highest attributes are Dex and GRT. Your starting class will be Flextrous fellow. Did Aqueous put you up to this? Try not to get any muscle beast milk on your character sheet. A max level Pentacoat Seagrift and a level 1 Flextrous fellow. Not exactly the meta strat. You're lucky you're paired with a number 1 gamer on Alternia. Before I can carry you to victory, we just need one more thing. There's more of this bullshit? What now, is a giant sandworm going to poke its head out of the sand and puke up some more fucking game mechanics that will be described in excruciating narrative detail? Quit being so dramatic, your character needs a name. Oh, a name. You already have one of those though. You told Jade it already, but man, you're not feeling as comfortable with it right now for some reason. Why is thinking of yourself as a distinct being with an identity and a history feel so uncomfortable? What's wrong with you? Might as well just make up a character name. Ooh, I can name it whatever I want. Okay, Bull Chicks is canon. Bull Chicks gang. A Bull Chicks gang. Bull Chicks gang. The Marquis welcomes you aboard his ship, Bull Chicks gang. Yeah! Yay! That's so fucking cool. They said Bull Chicks in Homestuck. They said Bull Chicks in Homestuck. As soon as you confirm your name, the other eggs start scorching and cracking into more little flying holographic biotech projectors of various shapes and sizes. Moths and dragonflies and lightning bugs zipping off into the distance. I still can't believe that they said Bull Chicks in Homestuck because I fucking typed it. Vriska capturelogs all her various books and character sheets, pushes her eye patch glasses up the bridge of her nose, and clambers up the gangplank of her ship, which you see has a name painted on the side in cerulean script as you follow her. Brigantine. Here, hold this. Vriska hands you a rope and you hold on to it, keeping the mainsail rolled up as she scurries to and fro, aft and bow, across the deck of the ship, making adjustments. There we go. You watch her try to tie a double bowline, but struggle with the dexterity of her mechanical fingers, swearing in frustration under her breath. You politely look away and try to make idle conversation. You ask for her end of the bargain. What? Her name! You made a character, she tells you her name, that's the deal. She secures another rigging and stomps back over to you. You haven't really made a character until you're in costume. Is your fit not already fresh? Perhaps even the freshest? Here. She dumps an extra outfit out of her inventory, looking almost exactly like an earlier version of hers, smaller with more amateur stitching. You put on the big bridge coat and feel super badass. She looks at you, tilts her head to evaluate, and then grabs a jaunty hat, feather and all from her Silodex, and pops it on your head. Nice! Alright, my name's Vriska. Vriska Circuit, don't you forget it. Vriska Circuit, or the Marquise, satisfied with her preparations, snatches the rope from you and lets it go, unfurling the mainsail. She practically skips to the captain's wheel, ready to steer the brigantine out of the harbour. Real name basis is one step closer to friendship, though for a moment you feel like you got told that name already. Your brain is messed up enough without remembering stuff that maybe didn't happen in canon, if canon is even a real thing that means something anymore. Your unsettling metatextual introspection is interrupted by Vriska shouting, "Roll for initiative!" You hear the buzz of projector bugs bordering your ship, and soon 4 flickering holograms appear on the main deck, looking like lurching zombie trolls. You already hear dice rattling on the deck, and you look over at her to cheat and figure out what you need to roll. Alright, I'm starting with an 18. Looks like you gotta subtract the modifier. 19! Guess you go first, Bullchicks gang! This is it, it's LARPing time. You look down at the piece of paper with your abilities on it, ready to cast Magic Missile or Bugsby's Grasping Hand or some shit. You pick the top attack from the list. It's your special class ability! You channel the spirit of the Flextrous Fellow, point straight at one of the holographic zombies, and yell that you're casting Mixed Fantastics Fury! You grab a d20 and blow on it in your hand. Your Lady Luck, no snake eyes, other gambling terms, whatever. You let the icosahedron of tabletop destiny drop through the air, awaiting the result with bated breath. You get a 2 and miss. God damn it! Vriska laughs out loud. Check out how a real gamer does it. Then she shows you how a real gamer does it. Over the course of this and the next 4 holographic encounters of ballooning complexity, tediousness, difficulty and word count, she just rolls so many goddamn dice and keeps track of so many goddamn stats. You're overwhelmed, bewildered and tired of doing math in pencil by the time the last squid-themed holo monster dies. You worried about the danger of the game before, but it seems like the only way you're gonna die today is from fucking boredom. Then you spot it. A schooner painted in all black emerges from the fog. You shout to Vriska that there's a ship on the port horizon. Vriska looks right. Did she not know the difference between port and starboard? You point in the proper direction, and she gives that mischievous grin of hers. Now it's time for the real action. We've entered the PvP-enabled zone. She puts aside her character sheets and dice, drawing a blue sabre. She holds it in one hand, the ship's wheel in the other. That's the Rue, the ship of Dreadclaw Ophelia. Top of the naval flat leaderboards. She's got a whole crew on that boat. But she's just another rich sea dweller with hired help, and she's been too scared to face me. Vriska's pointed your ship straight at the Rue, and you've picked up speed. You can make out a troll girl with thin ears and a gaudy purple outfit that you'd describe as sexy pirate Halloween costume from the world's most bougie party city, Dreadclaw Ophelia. It's absolutely garish compared to Vriska's more normcore approach to RP activewear, but dressed much more humbly than the captain are a bunch of lowbloods standing behind her, clutching shitty rusty swords and shaking. So let's bring the fight to her. You're not slowing down, you're pointed straight at the enemy hull. Vriska steers your ship directly into the well-appointed schooner, and you struggle to keep your feet at the shock of the impact, which knocks the violet blood in her frightened thralls onto the deck of the Rue. She yells over the din of horrific wood-on-wood screeching. Hey Swabby! Wanna be really good at sword fighting? You look at her with stars in your eyes. Yes, you do really want to be really good at sword fighting. You nod eagerly, and she underhand tosses you her blue-hilted sabre, which you catch eagerly. Vriska grins back, puts her hand to her temple, and squints with her one good eye. The 7 red dots on her prosthetic seem to smear and blur as your vision loses focus. You manage well to this point as the first mate of the brigantine, but your sea leg seems to give out on you all at once. You drop the sword you were just given, and it clashes to the deck. You try to tell her something's wrong, but your mouth falls open and you drool a bit. A dull pain gains a sharp and sudden clarity. It feels as though 8 spindly legs are crawling on your head. No, in your head. Each footfall feels more like a knife cutting through butter. At some point, all sensation slips into nothing and you follow the sword to the ground, asleep. What the fuck? Wake up, moron! You don't hear that, and you don't wake up. The salt and swell of the ocean gives way to the rustling of alien trees. No longer do you hear the screams of gulls following your ship, waiting for corpses and gore to tumble overboard. It's all peaceful. Consciousness returns to you, and its first present is the discovery that you're face down in slightly wet dirt. Some got in your mouth. You spit it out and sit up, brushing muck off of your flap costume. Wait, that's not a flap costume. There's a hoodie with a jagged cerulean symbol, a different symbol on it, loose-fitting, as though it belonged to a friend. Half memories swim in your mind as you take in the scene, just as familiar as your clothing. A stump sitting in a clearing between the trunks of a purple tree Daltonian forest. A harpoon sticks out of it. Baldy! BOLDIIIRRR! BOLDIIIIRRR! Old secret, oh my god! Oh, BOLDIIIIRRR! This stump would typically fill you with unease, an aura of death and defeat, but a squirrely silhouette cuts through the darkness and you step further into the clearing and feel your heart lift. BOLDIIIIRRR! 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 It's BOLDIIIIRRR! Oh my god, it's BOLDIIIIRRR! It's BOLDIIIIRRR! It's BOLDIIIIRRR! It's BOLDIIIIRRR! It's BOLDIIIIRRR! Oh! Sitting there on the stump, kicking bare feet back and forth, tilting her head to the side and smiling visually is your friend, BOLDIIIIRRR! Oh my god! You remember! You remember! Psst! Fancy seeing you here. That's a joke. I'm a figment of your imagination and was expecting the whole time. She passed the stump next to her in an inviting gesture and you sit down. You feel less adrift than you can ever remember. You tell her you missed her. Of course you did. You've gotten yourself into a real mess, dear friend. You ask about all your old friends. Sitting next to you, they flit through your mind clear as day, as though the memories were never locked away in the first place. How are Tagore and Garlic doing? Has she run into Ardata again? What's going on in the neighbourhood? Do folks miss you? The last question collapses her wry smile into a genuine crestfallen expression. I can't really tell you that for sure. You've seen it for yourself just how much he can do. There's a whole other disturbance in this neighbourhood and it has his nefarious fingerprints all over it. It's almost like he was preparing for this. But I try to stay one step ahead and I remember what I'm fighting for. Do you? The question is arresting. What are you doing? Even with your memory clouded, you've just been bumbling into other people's stories, breaking things as you go. Well, there's nothing wrong with breaking things. It's like they say. Sometimes you have to compromise a few unfertilised cluck-beast embryo in the name of a complete breakfast. You tell her you haven't had a good breakfast in ages. One of the places you're at had salt in the fridge. Also, you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. You're going where the river takes you. But things are different now. There's a great power within you that you are just now realising. The power to shape the river, to use its waters to scour the lands as you please. A power even he doesn't fully understand. You look down at your hands. Sitting next to her, you start to remember the green room, the story you've fallen into. You tell her there's so much broken you have no idea how to fix it. You tell her you wish she was real, not just in your head. She'd know what to do. She tilts her head again inquisitively. Am I, though? Just in your head, I mean? The story is only broken if you accept that it is broken. If you think of the story as something given to you. But it's not. Puppet masters may try and tell you the strings they're pulling are the only ones. As she says this, her head jerks back oddly, but she continues whispering, calm as ever. Oh no, no, don't scratch, don't, no! No, don't, please, I'm gonna cry! Don't be afraid. Don't let anyone tell you this story belongs to them. Not him, not anyone. No, you feel it too. It feels like threads tug at your body, and it hurts even more. Her limbs twitch and pull in gruesome pantomime. As more and more strings loop around her and disappear skyward, they nearly surround her completely, but you are powerless to resist, paralysed. It's for you. It's always been for you. Remember, friend, the only question. She manages to spit out 4 more words as she is swallowed and tangled in a spider's web of marionette string, choked and broken. Are we going to see BOLDIIIIRRR die again? Please! I don't want to see BOLDIIIIRRR die again! What will you do? The whole scene seems to melt away in searing green, and you are falling, dancing beneath the skilled hands controlling you. He is here. He was already. The ticking of 1,000 clocks exactly in time echoes around you. Did you miss me? I seem to be on your mind. I'm flattered. It's no wonder you're thinking about me just after meeting one of my greatest disappointments. You really do spend so much time around willful little girls. It may start to give you ideas. Ideas of choice or challenge. You're relevant because those things holding the strings decided you're relevant, an observer. The show must go on, but don't make the mistake these little ingrates did. It can go on without you, the bits that really matter at least. So does that basically mean that BOLDIIIIRRR was like working for Doc Scratch or working with Doc Scratch ages ago before she started to, oh my god, I'm just so overwhelmed because I got to see BOLDIIIIRRR again. What's that? Am I doing this? I'm afraid not, darling. I don't even know to what you're referring. Tears sear at the edge of your eyes. You try to keep BOLDIIIRRR's words in your mind as the strings squeeze the breath out of you. What will you do? Another voice seems to answer. From another place entirely, scratchy and loud, it says, "Fix this!" You wake up. Cold stone and a draught greets you. Charming. You blearily open your eyes, memories of the dream already fading to wisps in your mind. You're in the cluttered bedroom, the cluttered respite block that you're sure is Vriska's, based on the broken 8 balls scattered everywhere. You pick yourself up off the ground and try to think about how you got here. You passed out back on the brigantine. She must have brought you home. But where is she? You turn around and see a window. You look outside and see a dramatic scene below. Vriska is mind-controlling a group of thralls. Once you must have won off of Dreadclaw while you were out cold. They're marching one by one towards a massive web. Perched in the web is a giant spider, heaving, hulking, hungry. Vriska is about to feed the losers of this game to her Lucis. Oh, I don't know what to do. I just was so overwhelmed to meet BOLDIIIRRR again. Oh, BOLDIIIIRRR. Let's intervene. Holy shit, this was supposed to be a game. These innocent kids are getting fed to a fucking spider, and it's all because of your definitely essential contributions to Vriska's victory. This is so messed up. Games don't cause violence, you think, as you rush down the stairwell? They can't. Vriska is going to discredit an entire generation of gamers and add fuel to the fire of anti-gaming activism with this kind of behaviour. Oh, and also kill some kids. That's like normal Alternia stakes, though. You gotta defend the integrity of Fortnite. That's much more important, obviously. You rush out into late night air, too late to save a tranquilised mind control olive blood from being torn asunder. Vriska's Lucis holds the troll boy in her forelegs, pedipalps tearing through clothing and her chelicerae tearing into grey flesh, feeding a winding intestine into her mouth. You feel like you're gonna yacht. You have no idea what you're doing, standing out here alone against a giant monster in this gaggle of mind-controlled thralls. But you gulp down to air and yell, "Stop!" Vriska turns to you. She doesn't look like she's doing a lot better, frankly. She's got a similarly sick expression on her face, but something in her eyes is dead, resigned. Her expression crumples into a scowl. "What the fuck are you doing?" She squints her one eye in pain like there's a voice screaming inside her head. "I know, okay? I know! I'm dealing with it!" She steps up towards you, and you see cerulean dice appear one at a time between her fingers. The dice are, I'm gonna have to leave, sparkling with cold blue flame. You suddenly feel as though you're going to have a very, very bad time. First you fall asleep on me like a weenie, I have to fight the last encounter all on my own. Then I carry you back to safety even though we just met. You owe me! Turn around and go back. Now! You look up past her at the giant spider. The awful noise of squelching has stopped. 8 eyes are trained on you, blinking out of order. A splattered palette of multicoloured blood is smeared all over her slavering mouth. There's 7 trolls still standing there beside her, mindless, mouth lolling. Next. You don't turn around, you don't go back. You stand your ground, unarmed and without a plan. Surely your new friend will see how wrong this is. Vriska looks hurt for a moment, betrayed, but the same glare settles back on her face. You think you're a big hero stopping this dangerous bitch, right? Happy as a bivalve mollusk about your little protagonist moment. You're being stupid. You don't understand what's happening here. What I have to do. You can't fix this. Nobody can. So now you're just another little weenie who thinks they're a hero and I'm a villain. So sure, I'll play ball. I'll be exactly what you want. She tosses the dice on the ground. Oh, one sec. Just a short intermission there. I had to help my mother unpack the shopping. The dice glow with a blue flame as they tumble to a stop. An ethereal whip materialises and snaps around your ankles, and you are dragged dizzyingly fast towards the spider's web. The friction of your ass on the rocky cliff face tears the butt off your flap costume, exposing your delicate cheeks to chafing. Your greatest asset! But things get far worse than that as you are flung directly into the clutches of the horrific arachnid. Oh, this is probably what the Vor warning is about. The fangs of Vriska's Lucis pierce your skin and pump you full of a numbing venom that causes everything to fade to black and static numbness. Which is good, because she's beginning to eat you alive. It's also good because you can't see or hear a little girl stifle a sniffle, holding herself with crossed arms, one mechanical, and rocking back and forth, watching another friend consumed by this chaos that never leaves her. Great work, hero. You got Vord. Oh, the hat. Anyway, we need to make friends with Vriska. You can't watch. Hide in her room and wait. Okay, holy shit. Vriska's Lucis is a giant spider monster that eats children. This explains so much and also raises a significant number of questions that you're going to think about while not watching these kids get eaten. You look for something to distract yourself with. You spot a black, raggedy book, much older than anything else in this room, with Vriska's symbol on the cover. You reach for it and open it up, flipping to a random page and seeing what looks like a journal scrawled in cerulean, but not Vriska's handwriting from your character sheet. Looking inside the first page, you see the name Mindfang. You read and holy shit, you're very unsure that this is appropriate for a young girl to be reading. You keep flipping through to different parts and wow, it just gets worse. Vriska named her character after this? You lose yourself in hate reading Mind Fangs, long stories about petty crime, dubious consent, and weirdly detailed descriptions of the outfits of a woman named Red Glare. You're surprised then when Vriska walks up the stairs, hands in her pockets, looking at the ground. She doesn't even look at you before sitting down on the floor across from you, cross-legged and staring 1,000 yards into the distance. She rocks back and forth, hands still in her pockets. You go to give her a reassuring pat on the back. As soon as you touch her metal shoulder, cold even through her shirt, she turns to you with a jumping glare and hisses like a cat before facing away again. You get the message. She takes an 8-ball out of her inventory again and then savagely, brutally beats it on the stone floor of her room until it's nothing but shards in a puddle. Then the two of you sit. She occasionally picks through the debris of the 8-ball and rocks, clenching and unclenching her fists, but as the minutes pass, her breathing slows bit by bit. Oh, this must be what the stimming is. You don't say a word or bring up what happened. She's the one who talks first. Earlier you seemed confused about why I care so much about playing a character. Oh my god, can people stop talking in the background? She thumbs the dog-eared edge of a warm piece of paper in her sharp clawed hand, staring at the wall. She's still got blood on her jacket, blood that almost makes you retch with the memory of spidery mandibles devouring her spoils. One glimpse of it makes you sick. What would dozens do? Hundreds. I mean, it seems obvious to me that the Marquise is the greatest and coolest character ever made. But I've seen her for so long that it's sort of like a part of me. Everybody's throwing shapes every day and acting like something, right? But most people are so boring. They don't dress up, they don't act, they're always so obsessed with being the exact kind of troll they were yesterday. Maybe you don't have to be the same. Maybe you can go on message boards and try out being someone new and find out you like it. Maybe it's nice to be called something Elusis doesn't call you. And meet people who only ever knew you as the girl online or as the other ship who is super badass and good at things. Come on, you can't tell me you've never wanted to be someone else. You've edged a bit closer to her during this rant and you're looking at this sheet of paper in her hand. It's a spreadsheet-looking series of boxes just filled in with red ink. Name, Marquise Spinneret Mindfang. Class, Petticoat Seagrift. Gender, F! Levels, all of them. She's doodled all over the margins, as of her captaining ships and swinging swords and drinking out of goblets. Have you ever wanted to be someone else? The question makes you uncomfortable. Just pondering who you are now fills you with unease. Fuck playing a character. Filling out a sheet like this for yourself seems impossible. A piece of paper representing all your physical and mental attributes. A blank canvas, the common outlines thereon defining the boundaries of every conceivable personality. You don't even know how you'd fill in the gender box. You've been busy making friends, okay? Suddenly she turns on you and there's a desperate kind of crazy intensity in her good eye, like her gaze will burn you. You're going to leave, aren't you? No, yeah, of course, everybody does. Do you think I like this? I used to have a partner. She didn't like it either, but she helped anyway. Like you, I guess, except she didn't puke when she saw blood. And also not like you at all. She made rules. She loves rules. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not big on those. Gambling queens broke rules all the time, and that's just what you gotta do to survive. To make the voice stop haranguing me. And she heard her Lucis in her head too, but she didn't need anything from her. What's that even like? I've got to be the best. I have to. I didn't get all the levels just to look at them on the sheet. You saw me out there. It's dangerous. She tried to kill me and left me alone. And then I got even because that's what you have to do to backstabbers. But I still don't feel even. It doesn't bother her. Nobody ever cares. They just leave and move on and I'm still stuck here on this stupid world. How are people mad at me for putting losers out of their fucking misery? This planet fucking sucks. Hoo boy, that's a lot. You let her finish her tirade. She doesn't look straight at you for the whole thing. You gently ask her how her Moirel, who you did just befriend, would feel about her saying she's alone. You see a lot of thoughts flicker through her head, and a look of expressions dance across her face. She settles into a look like she's smelling something off. People always want shit from other people. Sometimes you know somebody and you can't describe what your whole deal is. You grow up with these ideas about what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to be. You get handed down these strict categories, tables in your player's handbook, and you read stories or journals and whatever they say. This is a mate sprit. You feel like this about them. You have a Moirel that meddles with you because you're just too broken for her and just wants. And then you're told, oh, this is what a rival looks like. And then you take a look at your black date and it's just an absolutely repulsive slimy eel who always wants you to kiss him and ew. Man, I could really upgrade in that department. But then there's someone who comes along and none of that stuff makes sense to you. You just like being with her. Or it's not even you just feel like shit makes more sense with her. I would say it's not like you have this voice in your head saying you're not good enough all the time, but she makes it quiet and I actually do have a voice in my head saying I'm not good enough. God, I'm not explaining this right. What I'm trying to say is Yeah, there's a doomsday device. Everyone leaves, nobody cares, are all waiting on a call up to war, and look, I'm ready, I'm the best at war, it's just a big flap. But I'd rather have a plan B. You give Vriska a moment to breathe. You don't give her a reassuring touch on the back, remembering her jump and hiss when you tried that last. She's like a feral cat, this girl. Tangled, greasy hair droops over her shoulders that are always hunched up, like something would come to her for her throat if she exposed it to anyone. You wonder if she ever let her shoulders down around the girl she's talking about, an ex perhaps? Of course she did, and you wonder if she ever will again. You hear a psst in your ear and a squirrely little laugh, and suddenly remember a green room and that you've had this thought before somehow. You ask her the question that's been consuming you, or more accurately not consuming you. Why were you left up here while everyone else got fed to the spider? She tenses up immediately when you ask this, and takes some time to clench her fist then release them. Some people are off limits. She has to eat, but she doesn't eat my friends when I bring her enough food. And you're counted as off limits, but you're one of her friends? Oh my god, don't get a big head about it. I wouldn't let her eat Karkat either, and he's not like my BFFC for life or anything. Plus you helped me out, and that's the pirate code. Plus, Fussy Fangs would be mad. It must be hard separating trolls into two classes, friends and food like that. It must be hard, and nobody understands. I mean, that's how it works here. Everybody's got someone to kick down on. Except Rustbloods, but them's the breaks. Somebody's got to be on the bottom to keep the whole shebang afloat. Killing people lower down than you is what all the school feeds say you're supposed to do. To get ready for a life of space war against... Well, it mostly seems like they just kill more lowbloods. That's all it ever is. My ancestor. She looks left and right as though she's going to be overheard, then leans in smirkingly. She sounds like she's letting you in on a secret. A secret. My ancestor Mindfang, she sailed around being the terror of the high seas for a while, but she fell in with a group that was going to do something about all that. A bunch of weirdos led by a mutant who wanted revolution. I always wanted to be like her. I like using her name more than my own for a while, dressing up like her, learning to sail. But I always end up back here with a pile of corpses. That's having a lusus, right? Sometimes you don't get to do what you want to do. She talks to me, you know. It only stops when she's full. Always whispering in my head. Saying I was fatter than her, saying I deserved all the things that happened to me. Even I was bleeding out on this floor. You look at the cold, cluttered, uncomfortably drafty room. Whatever happened to her face and arm must have happened here. You see a broken figure silhouetted on the wall. You look back at Vriska and you know what she is. For all the bombast, insults, killing. You're looking at a survivor. You're looking at someone who did nothing wrong. You remember Dave's carefully crafted defense of a persona. You remember Rose eating oatmeal for dinner in a drafty brutalist mansion. Jade in the shadow of a volcano, raising herself. Your world can be as brutal as this one. Earth makes survivors too, and you have made a difference for them, one at a time. All of that nihilistic bullshit earlier feels like it was shouted at you by some meddling voice, someone holding the strings. Fuck that. You're going to be a goddamn hero today. You're going to make friends with this whole fucking planet if you have to, or you're going to make it better, or at least less of a complete dumpster. You tell Vriska you'll be right back and sprint down a spiral staircase. You keep running, pumping your beautiful legs straight out the door of Vriska's giant hive. You don't have to colour inside the lines of someone else's story. This is your motherfucking narrative now. You take a leap when you reach the cliff and barrel over, falling fast, wind whipping past your face as you tumble through the air towards the giant white spider. A leap not of faith, but of hope. You crash into the carapace of Vriska's terrible murder mom hard, cracking it with a piercing shriek. At the same time you... Zap! Hundreds of feet above the mouth of a volcano on Jade's Island and kick off the back of the spider, leaving the giant troll-gorged arachnid tumbling into the lava as you zap back to Alternia, back to Vriska's respite block. You appear behind her. She doesn't notice you. She's looking out of her window down at the empty web with a shocked expression. Still looking out the window, her stunned silence turns slowly into a grin someone less generous than you would describe as shit-eating. Holy shit, Bullchicks gang, you actually did something! Hell fucking yes! Woo! That was... It felt a bit biased, but I still liked it, and I loved getting to see BOLDIIIRRR, oh my god. Ah! Anyway, that was PesterQuest for the fortnight, so haha, goodbye.